everyone. So today we are going to talk about op art. And the first thing that you need to know about op art is that it uses line and shape to form an optical illusion. And so I'm going to be showing you some examples of how you can make some op art of your own using markers. It's a really simple project to do. It's good to do if you are in the middle school age or even in high school. And I'm going to show you a few techniques that I've learned, and you can be as creative as you want. I'm also going to show you a couple of examples of a couple of famous op artists. One is Bridget Riley, and she is a famous op artist from England. And a lot of her work is just simple lines and shapes, and they kind of form their own optical illusion. The one that I just put up on the screen, I like if you move your head from side to side, it appears like the lines are moving. And then there's another famous op art, MC Escher, and he likes to put a lot of drawings in with his op art to form the optical illusion. The one that I put up on the screen right now, you can kind of tell if you were to turn your head any which way, you couldn't really tell which way is up. So he used some realism in with his designs to give it the optical illusion. But right now I'm going to demonstrate just how to draw some moving checkerboards and kind of like a sphere with a checkerboard on it and some stripes. And then you can play around with it and add any other details that you like to your work. So let's get started. In order to do this project, you're going to need some paper and a pencil. You're also going to need some markers. And you can use any markers that you want. You can use some thin tips or some Sharpies. You can have some thicker tip markers. Whatever brand will work to do this project. But you're going to need to know how to draw some things going in and out. And if you look at pictures that go far away, when things get farther away, they tend to look smaller. And when things are closer to you, they look bigger. So if you were going to make a moving checkerboard, I would practice this on scrap paper first, but you would maybe draw two lines and have them far apart in some places and wider in other places. The next thing I recommend that you do if you're going to make this a moving checkerboard is to find the narrowest part between those two lines and put maybe some dots as reference points. I like to start where it's the most narrow when I'm making my lines, because if I start at the top, sometimes it gets a little bit too bunched up in between that area. So once you find those dots, you're going to take those lines and extend them both ways. And you just go all the way to the end of your design or the paper. And then the next thing you're going to do is draw your lines going across. You're going to do the same principle where things are going to be smaller and closer together where it's narrow and farther apart where it's wide. If you want your checkerboard to have a curve to it, you could draw these lines curved. If you make them just go straight across, it will look flat. But you could also round them. And then as your lines start to get farther apart, you're going to make those lines going across farther apart. And again, if they're straight, it's going to make the checkerboard look flat. If you curve them, it'll make it look like it's round. So there you have the basis for a checkerboard. If you are not sure how to color a checkerboard, it's pretty simple. You can just choose a color, and you can start in any row that you want, but every other one you color in, and then the other one will be a different color. And this is my practice one, so I am just going to leave that white for right now. The row below it needs to be opposite. If I were to color this one red right here, it would start making a stripe and not a checkerboard. So I need to make sure that every row the pattern gets changed. So then the row below that, that one's white, so the one underneath it I would color in. and so on and so forth. And I would finish my whole drawing in that manner. If I wanted to make an orb, which is like a sphere with a checkerboard on it, you can start by drawing a circle. And then you're going to have like your little access points here. And all of your lines going across, you could start with the two center ones, are going to always go to these points. There's one at the top, one at the bottom on each side, kind of like a compass. But every line you do is going to meet back at those points as you're rounding. You always start and end at that point. You do that on both sides. Until you run out of space. And then to make your checkerboard, you do the same thing with these 2 points. You'd start here, and you're always starting and ending at that dot. And this will make it appear to be round. And again, always practice this in your sketchbook, because if you mess up, you'll know how to fix it on your final copy. And then once again, you pick whatever color you want and you would color in the checkerboard the same way. Every other square gets colored. The row below it will be opposite. The other thing you can do is to have some things overlapping, and you can draw stripes any which way. For my students, I tell them they have to have some kind of stripes somewhere in their project. And if you're overlapping your stripes or having them come behind, you don't draw through the previous one, you just draw it behind. But you can have your stripes go any which way that you want. They can be moving. You could even do loops. And you can make your stripes, as many as you want. You could also do loops. So a loop would look something like that. And if you wanted your stripe to come around there, you would need to erase that line that comes in front. And you can make as many of those as you wanted to. So there are many different types of op art, and I recommend that you just look up some until you find the one that you like. And I'm going to show you some different examples of what you can do here in the background. So as you're getting ready to finish your project, come up with that rough draft first. And I recommend that you put in moving checkerboard, stripes, other designs, maybe some ones that I didn't show you in the demonstration, but I'm gonna put some up on the screen as I'm talking of maybe some possibilities of other designs that you can add, and color them in with markers. I like to not have any white on my paper. It gives it a little more pop, but you can play around with those colors and different types of markers and enjoy some of the samples I have going in the background.